Ho, ho, ho. Hello, everyone. This is Paula, and we are on day 4 of the 12 days of Christmas in my cheaply chic, you better not pout, traveler's notebook. She designs the cover, and I designed the inside. So, you guys sit back and relax. This isn't gonna take us long each time, probably, less than 30 minutes, hopefully. You never know. So there's going to be a lot of decoupaging in this book, but decorating around that. So look at this beautiful napkin, right? I just think it's gorgeous. I'm going to set this to the side for now, and let's do this really quick, and that way we can move on to decorating. I don't have any super real plans, just so you know, for decorating any of my stuff, really. I mean, I'm trying to find which brush is I think it's that brush. Okay, now we're going to just jump in and get busy getting the decoupage done. Now, we're going to do the top part of that first. I'm trying to make sure I can get it all to fit. I gessoed this whole side over here. It had recipes, and I decided I would rather have this napkin. So here we go. We're going to, my brush has still got moisture in it, but that's okay. It'll still stick. Now, I'm doing the top half. I went ahead and gessoed ahead of time on this left side because I didn't want it to bleed through, and I didn't want you to have to wait on me to dry it, so I did it ahead of this video. But that's it. Got everything else ready for us to do. Now, we'll get that put down over here, and then we'll do the bottom half. I just loved this napkin. It came out of my stash. So I'm just going to line it up at the top. I had to cut it a little bit to get it to do what I wanted it to do, which is come all the way down into the spine here, and then all the way over on this side as far as we can. Now, you know, I never get too bent out of shape over it being too wrinkled or anything. So, get some of that water out of my brush so it's not so watery. Okay, so now we're just going to do what we do. You guys are going to be experts at how to decoupage. And that's okay. I'm not an expert, and I've been doing it forever. But anyway, so I'm going to flip this on out. Okay. I'm going to right here. Okay, we got that side done. Let's do this. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It is snowing in Branson. Oh my word, is it snowing. It is snowing in Branson. And it's beautiful in the mountains, you know, when it snows. In those Ozark mountains. Okay, so. All right, there we go. So now we're going to put down on the bottom half, we're going to put the rest of the napkin. I'm trying to get it nice and wet there. Try to keep it all right there. Then I'm going to come over here and do this part on the bottom. Now, this page folded out on the other side, and that's the reason I chose this page and gave up the recipes, was so I could put the decoupage over that so I could use the whole napkin. This is actually the whole napkin that we're using. Believe it or not, it is. And then after we get this on, we'll dry it real quick. And hopefully that won't take very long. Okay, here we go. Kind of had a border in the middle, so I decided to go ahead and keep that. We're going to put this down into here. You know, you have plans, and sometimes you're lucky enough that they'll work for you. Sometimes you're not. You never know with napkins, you know. Usually, pretty much, I don't have trouble with them adhering. They might not be as straight as I would like them to be, or like that, you know, but like, see, I'm looking here, and this is not sticking down very well right there. So let's add some more under there, and then we'll do the top here. Go down through here. It's kind of ripped right there in the middle, you would know. It's because when I was putting it in, my fingernails, when I was poking it down into the spine, my fingernails tore the napkin. But I was able to keep it together on the top portion. It didn't cause any issues. So I will add a little piece of this trim right there. It's not really supposed to be a piece of trim right there, but I think it's better than leaving it blank and white. So let's go right here and add some right there. And that's all right. Maybe we'll blend it enough that it won't be a problem. Okay, now this over. Okay, here we go. Oh, goodness. Sometimes the spine can be a pain. I'm going to put another piece right there. I don't want it to end up being yucky. Yeah, this little area right here is doing the same thing. This must be a cheap napkin. That's all I can say. We'll blame it on that instead of on the person putting on the goods. I am going to cover this section right here because it does not look great. I'll just put this right there, and maybe it won't be noticeable. You think? I'm just going to let it go all the way out. And let me make sure I got all this down really nicely. I think we did. I think we did. Put some right here. Underneath here is kind of sticking up. Want that down. All right. I think we're good to go on this one. And I'm going to put that in water. And then, oh, you know what? I wanted to cover this other side. So we'll do that first before I totally wash out the brush. Just got to get some of the water out of the brush. Okay, now on this end right here where I pieced it, we're going to add a little bit of what I've got left, and it's not much. So we'll just see what we can get on here. And if it doesn't have enough, we'll just cut it off, make it shorter, right? That always works. It always works. We've got this long piece right here. And this actually, whoops, is the wrong side. I guess I better turn it over, huh? This actually is just some trim that was between each piece of napkin, kind of along the edges, and I took it off, kind of like what you see in the middle of the page. And let me get this right here. Well, it looks like we're going to be able to cover most of that, doesn't it? Not have to trim too much off. Now we're going to cut off that part on the edge. And then we'll come back and trim that once we get it dry. So I am going to flip on the, let me get this off my finger. I'm going to flip on the dryer so we can get this dry. Please be patient. It won't be long. Turn the volume down if it's too loud for you. This is kind of a fuchsia color, which really goes perfect with this book. Let's dry the back of this one. So I know if you, excuse me, I know if you live in the mountains, you know how beautiful it is when it snows. They call it the Ozark Mountains here. I don't know that I would say it's true mountains. Not like Montana or someplace like that, or Colorado. That's more like mountains, in my opinion. But anyway, it is really pretty out there with all this snow. But you don't have the snow peaks at the top because on every mountain there's trees. You know, it's just trees, trees, trees. And a lot of rock. We have a lot of rock. Lots and lots of rock here. Getting real close. At least we're going to make it be real close because we don't want the video to be nothing but decoupaging, right? We do have, I'm going to put this up under here now that I got that sticky off the back. And the same here. Now, until this completely dries, you will want to put, and look right here. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I may have to put that there, but I'll wait and do it after the video. How's that? Okay, so it has like this little designer logo right there, which we got to do something with. That can't stay, right? So we're going to cut down to this pink portion on the back because I want to keep this as a Christmas, kind of a shabby chic style Christmas on this side. And I like that, and I want to hang on to that part of the book. As soon as I get this cut straight, that is. Now, come on, get all those little goodies cut off. There we go. Now, let's see, that took care of the other side, and we know it's nice and straight. So, let's get this all off of here. I have something in my shoe. Do you ever do that? And then you can't figure out what it is. Just a piece of paper rolled up in a little ball. Felt like a rock. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I thought we need to make a pocket on here somewhere. And I want to use this beautiful fuchsia color card. We can use it for a pocket right here. Or we could, if we had another napkin, we could cover something and make a pocket that blends. Now that would be cool. And I do, it's just not handy. But think about that when you do stuff like this, because you can make it look cool like that. Okay, now we also have plenty of papers. This wreath here is pretty too. Now that we've got this really pretty view up here, if we cover some of this below, it's not going to be that big of a deal, right? I don't know. I like this, but I kind of thought it'd be really pretty on this tag. But, and then, maybe a doily under there. Let me see if I've got a white doily. Where did you go, doilies? I know I do. I just got to get my hands on it. I'm wanting to see if I can find like a half of a doily. There's one. And try that first and see if we really need the whole thing. Yeah, I think it'll look better with the whole thing, don't you? Well, let's try a whole doily. See what we got. These things stick together, and if you're not careful, you will glue down two, just about like I'm about to do. There's two on here. Getting them apart is sometimes simple, sometimes not so simple. I can see it break apart every now and then. Then when I try to get my fingernail in there, oh my goodness. Come on, separate. We know you want to. Let's move to another part of the doily. Goodness. All right, come on. Let's see. Can you believe this? I know there's two because I saw two. Well, maybe we won't use these. Use a different one till we can get that straightened out. Let me see if I have any more small ones in here, because I do like to use the small ones for this sort of thing. I need to get me some white doilies. Well, here's one with a hole in the middle, which is perfect, actually. I think that must have been for like a candle or something. Yeah, see, that looks perfect like that. All right, so we got to get that inked up. So let's ink it up with our Wild Rose by Lawn Fawn. It's a dye ink. And I felt like it was good for this project. So we want to ink up our little flower, our little wreath. Did not mean flower, but it came out flower, didn't it? You know what we could do is do something that's see-through instead of doing like a solid piece of pocket. We could do a glassine bag for a pocket. Then you can see through whenever you don't have your card in there. Yeah, let's do the back now. We'll do that really quick. Okay. I love these little daubers. They usually only good for a little bit of, you know, because they get torn up real easy when you cut around the edges or do stuff around the edges. And here is a little reindeer. And we do have reindeer in this little project. I'm going to put this little pink card. Needs a little bit of pink, right? So I'm going to try to do more than one thing on here. If it covers up part of it, that's not a big deal to me. Now we're going to do a little pocket. This is not a pocket. It's actually a little tiny envelope. I'm going to show it to you here. As soon as I get it highlighted, you'll be able to see what it looks like. See, right there is the flap. Now, that's the back side, so let's fold it down. I don't know which side we'll use yet. Cute. Now, let's do this side. Probably, unless we were going to slip it in a pocket or something, you would only have to do the side that opens. Okay, there's that. I like this little piece of paper. It was just in my scraps in my traveler's notebook drawers. Okay, so that is a start. If we need anything else, we can get it right off at the same spot. Okay, now let's do, I'm going to move this, and I'm going to move this. Okay, now let's get this tag made. I'm going to glue this little guy down. Let me move this over so we don't have it right in our way. There we go. We can see better. Now, I wouldn't mind stitching around this card when I do my stitching, so you can watch for that in the flip through. I will be doing some flip throughs. Putting just a little bit of ink around the outside. We don't want to have to deal with it too much. But we're going to go right here. And it's not going to have a lot hanging out, but a little bit is better than nothing. And then we're going to glue this down, this wreath. Well, our kids were supposed to come up today, but because of the snow, they had to turn back. They thought they would be fine, you know, on the roads, but in Oklahoma, I guess the roads are worse today than what they are here. But it's getting worse here because it's really snowing. Now, I think this number would be cute right there. But let's wait and see. I'm not too sure about that. Now, we have all these little goodies I want to put in here somewhere. And we've got to decide what we want to put as a pocket. Now I do have, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I got journaling cards here. I thought we could do this barn would be pretty too. Now the thing is this is pretty big, okay? So I think it should be right in here. And then we'll just cut it off right where we need to. I'm going to get my trimmer and we'll trim a little bit and see what we come up with. Get a little bit of the stocking and wreath, and then I want to trim off the round corners. And I'm trying to decide, do we want it that big, or do we want it, I think inking it will make a difference. I'm going to shorten it also. I feel like it was a little tall. That's better. Let's ink it. Let's ink this baby up. We'll put glue on 3 sides of this. Okay, and we'll glue it down. Okay, now we're going to glue it right here. As close to the side as we can. Now, I didn't punch a little half moon there. You could if you wanted to, but I kind of like the way it is. Now, I've got this little envelope here. I was thinking we could put something here. I know that I have a reindeer. I'm gonna put the reindeer on here, on this side, and see now if we can also put the Santa on the other side. You know, because they're hanging out together, right? There we go. Now, we can put this right here next to the barn. Or, see, this will slide right in like this. And I will stitch around that, you know, at some point. I'm thinking we want to put this number right here. I don't really want to put that on there. So I think, let me see where we fold here. I want to fold it in the right spot, where it's supposed to fold. And I haven't trimmed around the outside of it yet. So let's put this over here. He's cute, isn't he? What do we want to put? Let's make a little tag out of this. I just think that's cute. There we go. All right, and see the back of it is just this pale pink. So that's perfect to use. Okay, now put this inside right there. Isn't that cute? Little cutie. And then we have another little tag that has a deer. I thought we could, oh, you know, instead let's use this. this is a little price tag or claim tag or something. I think it's a price tag, and it's pink. And it has a little hole in the top, so we'll put some goodies in there at some point, but we want it to kind of hang out like this, yes. And right here we can write Merry Christmas or Ho Ho Ho, or I love Ho Ho Ho, but that's just me. And then we'll glue it over here on this side, because I do want one of the seams right here. Or we could cover up that, I think that's what we'll do. We'll put the pocket up high. Why not, right? Right here, and hide that crazy thing. And I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to close. I'm going to go ahead and glue the flap open also. That way they don't have trouble with it getting hooked on things. Okay. Put that right there, cover up that little elephant. Want to make sure this is straight. It's hard to tell with this decoupage on here. There we go. Nope, it's not. Hopefully it's not too late to move it a little bit. There we go. Didn't take much. So are you guys doing a 12 Days of Christmas along with me? If so, tell me and let me know the kinds of things you've been doing. Well, I just got glue everywhere. Everywhere. So I'm going to have to get a wipey here. Excuse me. Boy, it is getting whiter and whiter outside. Mercy. Okay, right there. I should have used, instead of doing that, I should have used my, I'll have to wait for that to dry, and then I'll use my adhesive eraser. Let me dry it real quick, because it's not going to stay with that water on there. Do you ever just wipe something off not thinking? That's what I just did. Kind of crazy, but I did. There we go. Okay, now we will finish taking care of that in a minute. Now, I also have this, which I thought about dangling our number, but I'm not going to do that in this particular case. So we also could put this little, we're going to put twine or something on the ends of all of these before we're done. We also have this flower. It's not really a fuchsia, but let's put on some snowy trim. That's what it looks like to me, snowy. We're going to slide this in through the back of this. And we'll just tie it when it's done. Boy, it's coming down, down, down outside. I hope it doesn't keep on all day, because that could end up being a lot of snow, right? Okay. So I've been recording these a little ahead so I could not be late getting any of them to your channel or to your YouTube. So there we go. How cute is that? I like how that turned out. And we will stitch around that paper at the right point. And we're going to put this right here. I really thought it would be cute there too, but it's not pretty anywhere if you want to know the truth. It's not beautiful. Now this is a real simple page, but I like simple. Okay, now let's see. Now I gotta make a decision. I think it'd be better right here or right here. Let's just put it in the corner, so it's not like in the middle of everything. Okay, let me cover up this ink real quick. Sometimes I forget to do that and want my ink to dry out. Okay, so this isn't a lot on a page, but it gives me a place to journal here and on these little cards, which I like. And I'm going to put some twine in the little tag, the little pink tag. That way it's not too bulky for it, because it's really a tiny hole. So we want it to fit, right? Get in there, get in there. It says it doesn't want to go. I'm going to show you guys something at the end of this video. Something else, another project I'm working on. I'm making a wreath or a swag. I haven't decided which one I'm going to put it on yet, but I've got to make a decision soon, because, you know, it won't be long before I need to hang it up. I should have already had it hung up. So I'm going to put this little guy right here in front of this other little tag. I like the way that looks. Now, this page is pretty much done. I want to add a little bit more glue right here. It doesn't want to stay on here in the corner. I do need to trim. Look at that. It just fell right out of my book. That silly thing. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure out something for you. We'll stick you in the back instead of in the front. There. Now, I've got my pink glitter, and you know it doesn't take much to do any of these things. A little bit of a design, so I'm just going to go straight across, and then I'm just going to do a loop. Just want to make it look different. And then over here, I'm just going to do little tick marks around this. I can feel the heat in the house is pretty strong. Now that 4 doesn't show up, so there you go. I don't like it being so bland. And then over here, I'm going to do some tick marks right where that opens, so you can see. And we might as well pull out our little tag and do something with it as well. Okay. Don't want to get our white messed up, so I'm going to go right like this, okay, on both sides. Okay. This dries pretty fast, just so you know. Whoops, that little doily caused me to get a little crooked right there. Now, it doesn't smear or anything like that. Let me get right there. Then I come back down here. Then I'm going to put some little tick marks, or stitch marks, I guess I should say. And this, we could put some right here, and right here, right there. Just to give it a little something, something. Okay, so where did my lid go? Where did my lid go? Where did it go? It's right there. Okay, so this page is complete. Now, I'll come back and fix that when we're off camera. Oh, I forgot for us to trim this. Well, I like everything to be neat, so we want to do that. Get it nice and straight. It just looks lots neater when you do that. Okay, now I'm going to fold this in like this, like it's supposed to be. Okay, and really crease it right here. And let's see. Yeah, we have to trim some here off this top also. So here we go. Paula, don't cut the page, cut the napkin. That's funny how that's shorter on that side than it is on the other side. This book page is what was smaller, I guess. And that whole side is trimmed nicely, and so is this. There we go. Now, it's got snow coming down. It's looking really, really good. Let's put this back in here. And this is how our page ends up. Nothing fancy. Simple can be fun. The whole process was, the decoupaging was a lot of fun. And what made it different for me was, I'm getting all my mess cleaned up here. What made it different for me was that we had to get it on there just perfect, you know, in order for it to look like we wanted it to. So, I thought that that was a lot of fun. Now, we're going to do decoupage in our next one as well, but I don't think it'd be as big a deal, okay? All right, guys. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, please come back for day 5 and see what's up my sleeves at that time. Please go over to Lynette's store and check it out and see. She did have a couple You Better Not Pout books left, or journals left, and I'll link her below so you can do that. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye now.